Psychosis. I am your host, TJ Bowser, and joining me as always is the very handsome, very British Mr. Paul Ashford. What's up, buddy?
Good evening. How are we going? How's it going? How are you?
Oh man, I am tired. It's been a long fucking day, but I am excited to be here to talk to my pal, to talk about movies, talk about news, to talk about some rumors, to talk about screenings, and just a whole plethora of good shit today. But first, let's talk about our weeks. Paul,
Yep.
how was your
Movie watching as always, man. I just had a movie drop through the letterbox today. I picked up a media book, the Koch Media release of Four Flies on Grey Velvet from Dario Argento. I got it for a bargain price on eBay. Haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Like, it literally dropped from my letterbox today. But it's a super cool media book packaging, lovely artwork on the front. I've also finally ordered myself a Saru for the Sega Saturn, which I'm super excited about, from AliExpress. It should come probably early next week. For those who don't know, it's a cartridge that plugs into the cartridge slot of the Sega Saturn. Lets you play games from there. So you whack an SD card in there, you can play pretty much the whole
cartridge within a cartridge?
Yeah. So, you know, the Sega Saturn had like a cartridge slot, which is used for a big memory card. They've the boffins have like done it so you can play games from there now. So you put an SD card in there, boom, put your library on there.
Did you say boffins?
Boffins, yeah.
What the fuck's boffins?
You're not a clever person.
Oh, nerd.
Yeah. I guess a boffin, like a scientist, I guess, like a engineer. So yeah, super looking forward to that. I finally checked out the Borderlands movie, and it looked really good. The effects are really good. The cast as you know, it's got a top cast, but it's just really forgettable, unfortunately. So yeah, kind of see why it got such bad reviews. And I finally got my girlfriend to watch a horror film that features cats, because she's a massive cat fan and she's always dubious of watching films where cats might die. But we sat down and watched Stephen King's Cat's Eye, and she mostly enjoyed it, apart from possibly the start of the movie, you know, where the cat is in the room and it's like getting electric shocks. Other than that, she really enjoyed the movie. We had a good time. So that's been my week, really, watching up some movies and stuff. And I know you're going to blow me out the water with everything you've been doing this week.
My mic's muted. That doesn't help. So last night I went to a screening of the movie Reagan from director Steve McNair. McNair, I think, yeah, Steve McNair, something like that. Well, I will say that movie was exceptionally well done for a very small budget. I enjoyed it, even though I knew everything that was going to happen. It had some tear-jerking moments. Dennis Quaid's awesome. I loved it. Lots of good laughing moments. It was a very well done film. The budget could definitely show through in some scenes, but what the fuck are you going to do? So, yeah, but overall, really, really enjoyed the movie. And I would recommend it if you're into that sort of stuff. It's pretty neat. But we got a lot of news. Actually, no. Yeah, we got a lot of news to get into. Yeah, we'll start. Are you done messing with your settings, Paul?
Sorry?
Are you done messing with your settings? It's making a whole bunch of weird noises.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me again?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Fucking A. Okay, back on track. So yes, we have a whole lot of news. Paul's done messing with the settings. But folks, let's get ready for this week's Physical Media Roundup. Yahoo! So first, it's a new month, so that means Vinegar Syndrome is dealing up a fresh set of films. I will start things off because I love Vinegar Syndrome, baby. Oh, it's so good.
Do you? I didn't know that.
No, definitely not. Not at all. Anyway, so straight from the Vinegar Syndrome label, The Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf, and 4K UHD. Paul, that's a banger, pal.
That is good, man. Yeah, obviously that had an Arrow release on Blu-ray, didn't it? Many years ago now. Yeah. So it's good to see it in 4K. And yeah, it's a good fun film, that one. Sybil Danning, obviously. Whoever remembers it for Sybil Danning, Your Sister is a Werewolf. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that. Well, I'd love to see that one in 4K.
Absolutely. From Lamberto Bava, Delirium, photo of Goya?
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that, 4K UHD.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Lamberto Bava movie with the
Ah,
eyeball head person. I think,
ah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. There used to be a Shameless Blu-ray of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I remember the cover. I remember the cover. Yeah.
And the next one is from Paul's neck of the woods, Cruel Britannia?
Britannia. Yeah, Cool
Britannia.
Britannia.
3
That's
killer
good.
thrillers from the UK. That is like 70s jolly.
Ah,
I
okay.
did not buy that, though. I did get
Ah,
Howling 2 in
you don't
Delirium.
like the British, no?
Yeah. I like British folk horror, but I'm not a big British jolly guy.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Hit or miss for me. If I see good reviews, I'll go back and get it in a sale.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But from Vinegar Syndrome Archive, we're getting an eye for an eye. From Vinegar Syndrome Labs, we're getting Bloodline. From Cinematograph, we're getting Go Fish. From VHS Shitfest, we are getting Asylum of Terror from 1998. From Icarus Films, The Battle of Chile. From Dark Star, The Becoming, which I bought. It looks fantastic. Watch the trailer. It's great.
Uh-huh.
ETR Media, Devi Danger, never heard of it, but from what I heard, it's pretty neat. Big World Pictures, Disco Boy, Memory, Dogleg. Film Movement Classics presents Ferocious Fukusaku. 2 films from Kinju Fukusaku. I bet you I didn't murder that.
I hope not. I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah. Film Movement also released 3 films from this director. Don't fucking know her name, but she directed Hotel, Lovely Rita, and Lords. Did not write that down in the notes. Probably should have. But they released 3 films in 1 month. It's all from the same director. Have very similar artwork. It's really cool. So if you're a completionist like me, that's a thing to do. But I didn't buy that one, and I also didn't buy the next film, which is Saturn's Core's Flesh Freaks. I used to collect Saturn's Core stuff, but I don't do it anymore. You want to know why?
Yes,
Because I missed one. And if I missed one, then I just don't keep collecting them because I like to have those numbers.
and
1,
the
2,
numbers
3, 4,
gone.
5, 6, 7. Yes.
Mm-hmm,
And then after that, very rarely, if I something like that, like I'll have like maybe 2 or 3 like Dark Star things.
Okay.
But like that was a label that I bought from the very beginning.
Do you have the films on your shelf in number order then, rather than alphabetical?
Yes.
Hmm.
And they're also like sub labels.
Uh-huh.
So like there's Severn, then there's like
Makes sense.
that one part of Severn, Intervision. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then there's Criterion. And then there's Janus Contemporaries. So I have that next to Criterion. Same case, same company. So you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I have Imprint over here, an Umbrella over there.
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, from Utopia, I used to be funny. Yeah, absolutely. That rings true. Connie, My Heart is That Eternal Rose. Yellow Veil Pictures, The Other Lawrence. I bought that movie. It's French. It looks fun.
Mm-hmm.
Factory 25. See you next Tuesday. Art Label. That is just the label name is Art Label. Spirit Riser.
That is rude.
From Deck Analog, that guy Dick Miller, one of the best documentaries about Dick Miller I've ever seen, and the only documentary about Dick Miller.
Is that the first time on disc?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
The artwork was cool too. Very Andy Warholish. Could not pick it up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Canadian International Pictures, When Tomorrow Dies. The American
genre James Bond.
Is that James Bond?
No, I guess that's Tomorrow Never Dies.
Oh, okay. ACFA, Mary Jane's Not a Virgin Anymore, and the films of Sarah Jacobson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds interesting.
Paul, do you have the Severn up at all?
Severn films. Well, there's one big release, isn't there? That's the All the Haunts Be Ours.
Well, is that the only release this month? Or
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, they're kind of few and far between, aren't they, at the moment? And that is a compendium of folk horror, and that is.
And this is volume 2. I have volume 1 right. Wait, right there.
Yeah,
right there.
And that is definitely not on the UK site as of now. So I keep looking at their little UK site.
But it is mixed region.
Building. Yeah.
So whatever the fuck that means.
That's good. So we move on to Kino Lorber. Danger, Diabolic from 1968. I believe I haven't seen it, but I believe that's like that is a bit of a James Bond kind of
Yeah.
Italian. Is it Italian version of James Bond kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite labels, then Arrow Video.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's the first one. Tomy. Is that Tomy from 1990?
Japanese horror movie.
Okay. 1986 is Close Range.
At Close Range.
At Close Range. The Invasion from 2007.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, coming to 4K as well.
Mm-hmm.
And a film I remember watching on video when it first came out, A Simple Plan.
What's that about?
That is like a heist movie.
Oh, I like a good heist movie.
Coming to 4K UHD, and it's probably my highlight of all the Arrow releases.
Mm-hmm.
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, getting its 4K debut, and also getting a nice book with the review, isn't it? Like a nice book with the release as well. I imagine it's going to have some great artwork. The only thing I don't like the artwork on the slip.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just a personal thing for me. And the thing is, Mission Stark's had so many releases around the world, but this is the first. This is the 4K. So
what's your complaint about that release so far?
The artwork.
So
I wasn't massively keen on the artwork they used on the Blu-ray when they did it, and I think it's looking like the same style, the same artist for this one. But the cover looks good. It's just like it's the artwork on the actual. Armory, the disc
it's
inside.
that way with the Day of the Dead Scream Factory release.
But
no, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead. Sorry.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's the same artist that did the Guyver Arrow release from however many years ago that was now. Obviously, that's all been superseded by the one you have, but
unearthed.
Yeah. But I will grab it because it's 4K, and the booklet that comes with it looks really cool. You know, I'm a massive fan of media books. It looks that kind of thing, so I will have to get that one, no doubt.
Keep going, Paul.
Umbrella Entertainment.
Ooh, Down Under.
Yeah, exactly. Pulse coming to a 4K collector's edition. Yeah, why not?
I want to say that's Japanese horror as well. Yeah.
We're getting a collector's edition of Open Your Eyes.
Ooh.
Boiling Point collector's edition. I believe that is I'm guessing that's the John Woo, right?
Now, yes, has to.
Yep. Sasquatch Sunset collector's edition.
How good is that slipcover?
Yeah, the slipcover's cool. The trailer's really good as well. The trailer looks different. It looks really interesting.
The slipcover's different. It's furry.
Yeah, exactly. When was the last time you saw a furry slipcover?
It's been a while. I have one that feels like skin, but I don't have one that has fur on it. So.
Oh wow, what was that from?
It's a Cronenberg film. Vinegar Syndrome did
Naked
Extends.
Oh, Extends. Okay.
Yeah.
The Last Stop in Yuma County coming as a collector's edition. The Speedway Murders and Bird Eater coming to Blu-ray as well from Entertainment. So yeah. Should we move on to imprint films?
Continuing Down Under.
Yeah, so there's one big release I want to talk about there, but we have Priscilla.
Yes.
That's not Queen of the Desert, is it? Is that just Priscilla?
No, that is that girl from Alien Romulus and Elvis Presley.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is an A24 movie.
That's a new one then. Okay, yes. Okay. A Bridge Too Far. It's like a classic war movie, right?
Yes, that is a classic.
That used to be on. I used to watch that as a kid. I remember that well. And another one I remember well was Convoy. Chris Christopherson getting a 4K release. I remember that film very well. But probably the biggest talking point coming from imprint films, personal massive favourite film of mine is The Neverending Story. Is getting its 4K debut. Well, I say 4K debut. The American version cut of the movie is getting its 4K debut. It has already had a German release, but the German release is a different cut, and it doesn't include the amazing song at the start. So I can't watch that German version. Where this one has both versions, but we're talking like I believe a 6-disc 4K special edition. It's a big box. They're doing they're doing a replica of the book. It's got tons of extras.
Does it come with like vouchers for therapy for kids?
I don't think so. No? That should be included. They
should be.
But, I looked at it and I thought, oh my god, I must get that. I went to the Imprint Films website, typed it in there, got all the way through to the basket checkout, and to buy it and to get it posted to the UK, it was over £150 for me, and I was like, I just stopped in my tracks, and I was like, I do want it. I might still get it, but I just couldn't quite justify that. And it's kind of been the talk of a lot of the internet movie forums as well. A lot of people questioning the price on it. But to me, it looks good. It looks
Yeah,
good.
you say that, and I bought like $120 version of fucking Wicker Man.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's because it's a fairly mainstream movie. It's a
Yeah,
high
if you like
price.
the movie enough, who gives a fuck what people say?
Yeah,
Buy the fucking limited edition. You know what I
if you can
mean,
afford
man?
it, buy it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely want it because it's a favorite movie of mine, whether I've been traumatized by it or not. But
Imagine if they did something like that for Jaws.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Like we'd buy so much of that.
Yeah. But no, it does look really good. I would like to pick that up. I might still do it. Let's see how it goes.
What's
S-
different about the British version compared to our version?
well, there's like a international version, which is like the American one, the one we've all seen, theatrical version. There's a German cut. It's got it's got a different soundtrack, so it hasn't got the Lamar song at the start. You know the famous song. It's got different music throughout, and I think there's a few extra added bits,
Huh.
storyline
Might
stuff
be
like
an
that.
episode.
So yeah.
If I can get through the
I
horse
just
scene.
can't watch it. I remember trying to watch it, and I was just like, it's just this isn't a never-ending story because it hasn't got the song in it. But that's me.
Yeah.
Because I watched it so much as a kid. So we've got one thing coming from Scream Factory. That
One,
is
but we already
Hush.
knew about this.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hush. Coming to 4K.
Now, this was part of the earlier announcement this year where they said like a slew of these films, was it IFC or something like that, that were
IFC
previously
films. Yeah.
streaming only, are getting Scream Factory releases. This, and I believe The Autopsy of Jane Doe, one of my
Mhm.
favorite movies like ever when it comes to Exorcist type things, is coming to physical media. I hope that's also a UHD movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, so big shout out to Scream Factory for putting this out, and I can't wait for that one.
Couple new releases coming in November from 88 Films. We have The Legend of Fong Se-yuk 1 and 2. It's a 4K collector's edition. I probably butchered that, so I've never heard of it, but the artwork looks cool. And Eyeball coming in a 4K collector's edition as well. And that is like that's an old classic as well. That's an old, I think that's an old Giallo film, I believe. Am I right?
I think you're right, dude.
Yeah. Again, I recognise the artwork. It's a film I haven't seen, but it looks cool.
The problem is when 88 Films releases stuff, sometimes they use a different name than what I know them for.
And I've just found out today, announced. Well, I haven't seen it on their official page, but it's been announced that Shameless, one of your favourite labels, other than Vinegar Syndrome, are releasing Papaya Love Goddess of the Cannibals onto Blu-ray. I'm presuming that'll be in the lovely yellow plastic Blu-ray Amore, which I know you're a fan of. Yeah, that is a Joe Diamateo.
So we're talking sleaze and
Yeah.
low budget, baby.
I've never actually seen that one. I've seen the trailer. It looks proper sleazy. Not to be confused with Mountain of the Cannibal God, which I have
No,
seen.
don't want
I
to
used to
confuse
have on
those.
video. No.
So update, Eyeball, directed
Mhm.
by Umberto Lenzi,
Oh, there we go.
otherwise known as Red Cats in a Glass Maze.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's the little hiccup there. You gotta know both names of the movie.
Right.
Yes.
And I've thrown in at the end the label AVV. So
What
this is
is that?
they're a German company. So we're
Oh,
talking one of my favourite things, German media books, and these are padded media books. So they're like the
what the
media
fuck
books.
is that? You have
Yes,
one?
no, so they're padded. They're like media books with all the pages, like a book, but the actual cover's padded, like you get like a padded book, so it's softer touch. So it's like, yeah, it's padded. It's like a media book, but the cover and the back are padded, so it's
Okay,
nice and
I
soft.
believe
It
you.
looks
I believe
premium. They look super
you.
premium. They feel super premium, and they've got a bunch of stuff coming out early November or late October. Maniac Cop 2. Again, these have all got brand new artwork, all this new funky artwork. So you might think, oh, Maniac Cop 2's been released loads of times, but this is all brand new artwork and it's padded.
Blue Underground? Yeah, that's William Lustig's.
Yeah. But yeah, all new artwork, DVD and Blu-ray double padded media book. Maniac Cop 2.
Sidebar: Maniac Cop 1 or Maniac Cop 2?
2. This is number 2. I don't know if they've
No,
released the first
if you're
one.
gonna watch it.
Oh.
That's 3.
Two's more fun.
It is. Yeah.
But yeah.
I will say, speaking of Maniac Cop, Robert Davi is in Reagan.
Oh, is he?
He's old as fuck, but he plays like a Russian,
Yeah.
and he's cool as fuck, dude. He looks so menacing.
Yeah.
And there's and I will have to say, in Reagan, there's this really funny scene. So remember in like the 80s, like near the end, all the USSR guys died like a week after. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
The way they did it is they showed the same sequence 3 times, but they had like the same shot in the same room, but a different guy, and he'd be like smoking a cigarette and be like, and then they cut, and it'd be like all the Russian soldiers holding up his thing, and then it cut right back to that same shot, another guy drinking like whiskey, and then him like passing out, like falling on the floor, and then cuts to that same shot of all the soldiers with just a different fucking thing, and then it goes to another one, and then you see the other Russian guy looking at him, and the guy's doing his thing, and he stops. And then he dies, and then it does it again, and it was so well done. And then it cuts to Ronald Reagan. He's like, "How am I supposed to talk to these people if they keep dying?" Okay. Anyway, Robert Davi side rail there. Anyway,
brilliant. Revenge of the Radioactive Reporter coming to a padded media book.
What the fuck is that?
You never heard of that one? That's like that's an 80s classic. Funny enough, just let's make it confusing. In Germany, it's called Atomic Reporter. So all the artwork says Atomic Reporter, but I know it as Revenge of the Radioactive Reporter. That was the UK title.
It's a spin-off of Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, well, it's from that era. It was like a knockoff.
Was it?
From that era, yeah. Ticks. Surely you know Ticks.
I have the 4K from Vincent.
Oh, nice.
Seth Green.
This is getting a padded media book, Blu-ray and DVD. It's called something else in Germany completely, something really confusing, C2 something. But obviously we know it's Ticks. Nice. Yeah, that's got some good artwork as well, that copy, hasn't it? Also coming is Beyond Darkness in a padded media book. And just to make that really confusing as well, talking about alternative titles, in Germany that is known as House 2, even though it's not House 2. It's even got the same font, but it's a completely different one. That's Beyond Darkness is obviously the Italian early 80s horror film. Karate Warrior, which I'd never heard of, looks like a Karate Kid knockoff, looks pretty cool. And one you probably know about, Martial Law. They're doing a double 1 and 2 on a padded media book.
Do I own that?
I reckon you do.
I feel like I do somewhere.
There was another one as well, but it's only coming to DVD, and that was
Rothrock?
Yeah, Cynthia Rothrock, yeah. And there's is it Sidekicks with
yes,
Chuck
Norris.
Yeah, Chuck Norris. That they're also bringing that out as well. I believe that was DVD only.
What's the kid's name?
Yeah, the kid's name from that
one that died young.
Yeah. From the Starship. No, not Starship.
I know what you're talking about. That one guy. The listeners know what we're talking about.
Sequest DSV. It was that guy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandis.
Yeah. I love how we just remember this stuff. Yeah, that's coming too. But I believe that was DVD only, so I didn't actually put that on the list because I thought it's funny that a lot of German places still release DVDs. But yeah, you don't see that very often anymore. Not over here anyway.
So let's move on to Now in Theaters. So, like I said, Reagan got a limited release. It's going to be in theaters till Thursday. It did $10.3 million over the weekend. That's double the projections, folks. Double the projections. Go out and see it if you're an American who likes the 80s. Go watch it. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Anything, all that stuff. Good things. And next, we got Blink Twice, Channing Tatum, Zoe Kravitz. That's his girlfriend.
Yeah, and she directed it as well. didn't she? Directed,
Oh,
starred in it. She
is this
might even
his?
have.
Is this his first time being creepy?
That I can remember at least. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It looks pretty good. The trailer looks pretty good. It looks pretty solid. That's obviously he's the millionaire guy, isn't it? And he invites them all to his little island. And from the trailer, he makes them all dressed in the same clothes and takes their phones away from them. And it looks like he kind of drugs them or something and murders them, or I don't know. That's what the trailer suggests. Who knows? But yeah, it looks interesting. And Christian Slater's in it as well. I noticed.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
and you don't see him too
whoa.
much in movies, but yeah,
Who knows?
he's in there too. So yeah, it looks fun. And that's out now. That's out even out in the UK. That one as well.
You know what's fun? The next movie, Alien Romulus, a movie that we both love very, very
Mm-hmm.
much. And it is the
Yeah,
horror film of the year from what I'm
yeah,
seeing.
and that's
So
doing good business.
kudos to you, Fede Alvarez. Give us a follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Next up, Afraid. Now I'd never heard of that one, but I watched the trailer and it looks really good.
Yeah,
Have you
that's
seen
the
this
AI
trailer?
horror thing. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. So it's almost like Amazon Alexa, but it's going to kill you.
Is that the one where they fire the people because they look through their emails and they figure out that they don't want their job anymore, so they send resignation letters to their bosses?
Oh, I
I
don't
think
know.
there's like a clip from the movie. I can't remember though. I feel like
I've just seen the trailer. I don't think that bit's in the trailer. But the trailer's like it's like an Amazon Alexa Echo, speaking
yeah.
to them, talking to them, and it like suggests things, and it kills people for them and stuff, and
That's
super
gnarly.
creepy. Yeah, it looks good. It's very what's the word with today's the way AI is at
Meta.
the moment. Yeah, exactly that, exactly. Next up, something called The Crow. I don't know anything about
Never heard
that.
of it. I heard it's really awful though. I heard
Based
it's really awful.
from a really bad comic book or something. I think so.
Definitely not a bestseller or anything. So essentially, Pennywise falls in love with this mediocre singer, and then she gets killed because she definitely doesn't do shady shit. And then he
Right.
comes back from the dead, and it's like the super gothic tale that definitely doesn't follow the original comic book. And everybody was like, "Oh, why is this so bad?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know, because cash grab." Anyway,
Yeah.
My Penguin Friend featuring Jean Reno, is that the guy from The Professional?
Leon the
What
Professional.
the
Yeah,
fuck?
I know. It looks like some kind of kid friendly. Apparently, it's based on a true story. I watched the trailer as well. It's he befriends a penguin, and I think at one point it goes missing, and he scours the country looking for it. But yeah, it's got Leon the Professional in it, so trying to look after a penguin. So yeah.
If he can look after Natalie Portman, he can look
Mm-hmm.
after a penguin. Didi?
Yeah,
Diddy?
Dee. So, well, I remember we watched the trailer for that a little while back, didn't we? And it's
Yes.
out. It's actually out now. Looks kind of like it's like a coming of age movie.
Yeah.
Looks fun. Looks kind of heartwarming, I guess, from the trailer. Strange Darling.
Is this based on a Stephen King thing or something like that? Or did Stephen King talk about it recently? I want to say
Possibly.
I saw something with Stephen King involving this movie.
Right.
Let me double check, but continue.
Okay.
You've watched this,
Yeah,
right?
the trailer looks quite cool. It looks like it's like an online dating, like a one night stand thing that kind of turns into
JT Mulner. Never heard of him.
it kind of turns into like some kind of murder thing. I think the guy's a serial killer, and it kind of spirals from there. The trailer doesn't give away too much, which is unusual for trailers.
Did you see that clip where that girl like climbs out the window and she's like, "Get out of here!" And he's like, "He's got a gun," and the Texas guy's next was like, "I got a gun too."
I don't, but is it Stephen King? I'm not sure if it is.
I'm looking it up.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that mentioned in the trailer, but I could be very wrong.
Who knows?
Finally coming out in a couple of
Stephen
days'
King
time.
gave it a glowing review.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. That's why I saw it.
A bit like he did to Clive Barker.
Mm.
I've seen the future of horror. His name is Clive Barker. That was Stephen King for Hellraiser. And Beetlejuice.
Goes to Hawaii. No,
Really?
it's the sequel from Tim Burton, if you're into
Yeah.
this sort of thing. Which
Very long
we'll
time
talk
coming.
about Tim Burton a little bit later.
Yeah. It's been a very long time coming, this one. I always worry with sequels that are so many years after the original, they're going to suck.
Something we have to talk about in the movie news is Joker 2 early reviews. They're not
yeah,
I want to talk about that.
I've seen that. I'm hoping it's not true, but I've seen that. Yeah, Beetlejuice. I am going to go and see that one probably in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, why would you not?
Exactly. Yeah, I was a massive fan of the original. I love anything Tim Burton.
What is your favorite Tim Burton movie?
Ooh.
You got to go put one in right now.
Possibly Edward Scissorhands.
Okay.
What's yours? Oh, I should have said Batman. Nah, Edward Scissorhands.
Batman would be mine.
Yeah. I do love Edward. I mean, can't think of a film of his I don't like. Put it that way. I love all of them, even the recent stuff.
Yes. That's easy for me. Anything other than Batman.
Wow.
It's a style thing for me, man.
Yeah. No, I love Nightmare Before Christmas was good as well. I mean, it's all good. But yeah, I probably Edward Scissorhands.
Wait, did he do James and the Giant Peach?
No, I think that was that not Henry Selick who did Nightmare Before Christmas, and Tim Burton wrote it. Yeah, it's always called. There was a bit of a story behind that, wasn't there? Because when Nightmare Before Christmas came out, it was written by Tim Burton, but it's directed by Henry Selick. And then Tim Burton became famous after, so Disney changed it to Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh.
You get upset Henry Selick, obviously, because he actually directed it. Yeah, there's a whole story behind that.
It's like the Flesh for Frankenstein and Blood for Dracula. They say Andy Warhol's, but they were directed by Paul Morrissey.
Yeah.
It was more like Andy Warhol showed up and goes, "That looks great. Keep going."
Yeah. Because Tim Burton was employed by Disney, wasn't he? Before he did that, and they ended up firing him because they thought he was too weird, essentially.
Go figure.
And then after, obviously, it became The Night Before Christmas, suddenly he's like, "Oh yeah, he's really cool. Let's get him back and give him multi-million-pound budgets to do some movies."
Yes. Okay, so moving on to other movie news. So recently we've heard that Josh Brolin, Thanos himself, Cable himself, has been offered the role of Hal Jordan in the DCU. That's James Gunn's DCU. Anyway, I think that's a good choice. That's a good choice if he's portraying an older Hal Jordan, because Josh Brolin's no spring chicken anymore, and I feel like an older Hal Jordan, especially whenever we know that Guy Gardner's been established to be in the DCU with Nathan Fillion playing the character in the upcoming film Superman Legacy. This makes sense if Hal Jordan's going to be an older character within James Gunn's DCU. Paul, thoughts?
I like Josh Brolin.
Yes, he's really good at the Goonies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, always bring the Goonies. I'm not so. You said James Gunn's DCU.
Yes.
So is there different DC? Is his DCU different?
I just want to say that
you don't like James Gunn.
He makes questionable decisions.
So when I told you like last episode, my favorite Marvel films, Guardians of the Galaxy, did you just want to cut my head off or something?
No, because Blade exists, and I know that I can go enjoy that.
Fair enough. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm not too familiar on that character, but Josh Brolin's cool. Yeah.
Hal Jordan is the white Green Lantern that is featured in like the first portrayal of him. I'm more of a Hal Jordan guy myself, right. And the Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner is like the ginger Green Lantern, and he's kind of more of like a douchey character. But Hal Jordan's supposed to be like more of the noble type guy.
Right.
Yeah, interesting stuff. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I hope it's the older version of the character. I'm more of a Jon Stewart guy, but who knows? So, rumors, ramblings, lots of them. After a leak this week on the Vinegar Syndrome group, I can say, Paul can say, we all can say, it seems to be that there is a keep. The Keep. Michael Mann's The Keep. The first film. The very first film from the legendary director himself. The Keep is coming to Blu-ray. But guess who it's coming from, Paul?
I've never heard of him, actually.
Vinegar Syndrome. It's coming from fucking Vinegar Syndrome today. We heard from a further rumor that said that they talked to a guy who said to and from another guy that it's coming to Vinegar Syndrome. Now, we know that the final cut, the director's vision of the movie was never finished. So that 3 hours and 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever the original cut was, will probably never get released. So we could assume this is the 90-minute theatrical cut that everyone got released. Now, to my knowledge, the only thing that was prior released was an Australian DVD recently, and everything else was like an older type of release. So
Was it
it's nice.
recently? I haven't seen
Kind of recently.
It's
Let me
just
look it up.
been it's just been missing in action for years
It
and
has
years and
been
years.
missing in action, and it's unappreciated.
Yeah, it's got like was it copyright issues or was it just the theme of
Yeah.
the film? I don't know. It's just
I
everyone's
wouldn't
been
say that. When I went to go see Reagan, there was 2 movies about World War II and Nazism, like,
right.
stuff. It
Yeah,
was, yeah. So
yeah.
that's like a hot topic these days, is to talk about that era.
It's strange. This film. It's just never been released. It's one of those films that everyone asked for. I do believe it was on Netflix for a very short time, many years ago, from memory as well. Talking about the early days of Netflix that was streaming, I'm sure it appeared on there for a short time somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I see there's some artwork that's been released on this from the artists. Apparently, they've released it a bit too early before the announcement. But it looks pretty certain that it is coming to Blu-ray. And it's funny we talk about the Keep because I'm actually going to go and see it a 35mm screening of it.
It's so cool.
In a couple of weeks' time at a movie festival here in the UK, and I cannot wait. I've obviously never seen it on the big screen. I mean, I've only ever seen like an old DVD, but from many
It's just
years
rare.
ago.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those films where everyone talks about it, but you don't see it. And yeah, so I think if it really is true that Vinegar Syndrome is releasing that, that's going to sell out, and that'll be gone, like all their stuff does. But that'll be a super rare sellout edition. But yeah, I'll see it on the big screen, 35mm. Can't wait.
Gonna be great.
Yeah.
So continuing on this World War II era type thing. So apparently there was this movie Jerry Lewis filmed, and it takes place about in a concentration camp during World War II. And I don't know how would you describe it, but there's the day the clown cried is what the film was called. It never really came to light. There's a documentary coming out about it called From Darkness to Light. And I'm excited for that. I feel like that's going to be an interesting look at very controversial film. And Paul?
Yeah, I'm very excited to see that because obviously I always thought it was a bit of an urban myth, this film.
Yeah.
The Clown. Because he didn't even complete it, did he? He filmed a lot of it.
Yeah.
And then there was so much controversy around it. He just literally binned it off there and then and never talked about it. He refused to talk about it. And then I think it was his dying wish that when he handed over all of his reels of film and all this stuff before he died, he said that you can't show anything from this Day the Clown Cried until at least 2025. So 10 years. I think he died almost 10 years ago, if I'm right.
Oh.
So it's been a complete mystery, and now this documentary is going to be the first time we get to see clips from the movie.
Jerry Lewis. Have you seen that clip of Jim Carrey interacting with him right before he passed?
No.
Jim Carrey walks in and he goes, "Wait, I know you. You're the guy who fucked my mother." And Jerry Lewis just cracks the fuck up.
No, it's going to be super interesting. I think the documentary is it's at Venice Film Festival now.
Ooh.
So I'm hoping it comes to streaming or comes to a disc or something like that. But yeah, apparently 2025 is the year that we get to see clips of the movie. The movie was never finished; it was never put together. So I don't know if some boffin will do that or we'll just see clips. But yeah, the documentary is going to be good. It's supposed to be good from the early reviews as well. So yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like you want to see it because it's never been seen before. Super controversial. I love all that sort of stuff.
Speaking of controversial, the next movie, The Apprentice, released a clip. Now, I will give a little review. I don't think Sebastian Shaw has the look. That wasn't the name. What's the actor's name? Sebastian what?
Yeah.
It's not Shaw, is it?
No,
that's the guy from Star Trek, the Star Wars.
You talking about the
Sebastian Stan? Sebastian Stan.
Captain America, yeah.
Yes. So he is playing Donald Trump in the upcoming film, The Apprentice, which debuted at Cannes earlier this year, and to trump family sued, from my knowledge. The estate sued and all this stuff. My big issue is I don't think he sounds like Trump. Like,
No.
like when I watched Reagan this yesterday, like Dennis Quaid sounded like Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't sound. Now, the clip we got is from whenever Trump's supposed to be younger. So maybe he's not set in his Trumpisms yet. But I didn't feel like we were getting that voice that we know. But what's weird is that from his mentor in that scene, I felt like we were getting more Trumpisms, which might be like the whole point of the fucking scene, for all I know. I have to watch the whole film. But I feel like this movie, love him or hate him, is going to be interesting because it's going to show you a side of him, whether, similar in the way that the movie Vice does with the Bush presidency. It's going to touch on a controversial topic, or person here, and it's going to show you this other side of it, whether that be someone from the outside's perspective, someone from the inside's perspective. Either way, it's going to be a different perspective of this controversial figure. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I did watch that clip, and if you watch it blind, not know what the film's about, I think you'd struggle to realise that was supposed to be Donald Trump. I'll be honest, but I'm English. I don't really.
If he did the hand movements and talked more like him, I feel like you'd understand it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just from that scene, you didn't feel much. Let's see if we can get like older Trump stuff.
There's not even a trailer yet, is there? There's no trailer or anything. No. It's just literally that scene. Yeah. That's it. So we're literally clutching at straws, I guess. But that's all.
Speaking of trailers, talk about that next one, Paul.
Oh yeah, I got super excited for this one. So Sonic the Hedgehog 3, they've released the full trailer finally, which is the movie's due out in December, so it's coming out for Christmas. It looks really cool. Sorry.
Loaded cast.
Loaded cast.
Loaded.
Oh, loaded cast. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It looks super cool. I think I remember how excited I was when the original Sonic the Hedgehog came out. Obviously, there was the big controversy.
Yeah, you're the biggest Sega guy in the world.
Yeah. Biggest controversy when they released that original trailer and the Sonic looked completely wrong. But they went back to... Well, supposedly went back and changed it all and brought out the new Sonic, and obviously it did amazingly well. They did Sonic 2, which probably did even better, and now we're finally getting Sonic 3. And for fans of the Sonic series, this one has got Shadow in it, Shadow the Hedgehog, voiced by Idris Elba. Yeah, it looks super cool. And it's got Jim Carrey in it yet again. And in the trailer, he doesn't come in till towards the end, and it kind of suggests that Sonic teams up with Robotnik. To go to battle Shadow in this one. So yeah, it looks really cool. I'm very excited for it. It's great to see Jim Carrey. I think he said that he's never doing movies again other than the Sonic movies. He's kind of retired, but
will he make an appearance in the TV series that's coming up, the Knuckles?
That's out already, isn't it? I haven't actually watched it. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I think it's on Netflix now.
Oh,
I remember, but I didn't watch it.
Is it Netflix or is it Paramount Plus for me?
It might be Paramount Plus. But yeah, I haven't watched it. You know what? Out of all the characters, Knuckles is not my favourite.
Who's your favourite? Sonic? Are you a Sonic guy?
Sonic, yeah. Knuckles, I don't know. He's always just played like a bit of a meathead with his giant fists.
Yeah.
But I thought it was kind of strange they chose to do a Knuckles spin-off. I'd much rather just a Sonic TV series
or a Tails.
But yeah, it's cool to see Jim Carrey, because he obviously relishes the role. I love it. I love seeing him doing his crazy stuff like he did through the 90s. You don't see that anymore. But yeah, apparently when he's
playing two Robotniks.
Yeah, well, again in this one he's gone full on video game style. The clips you see of him, he's got the fat belly. Yeah. He's got the giant moustache. He's proper Robotnik or Eggman, whichever you want to call it. So yeah, I'm very excited for this one. It'll be out at Christmas time as well, so it'll be nice to see it in the cinema. Seasonally Christmas, yeah. You're a Sonic fan? I'm guessing you're not.
Not the biggest Sonic fan.
No. That's right. They'll make another Mario.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Sorry?
Yes, Tim Burton again.
Yeah, Tim Burton. So we talked about him briefly in Beetlejuice, and probably to time with that, he has finally been given a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. And there was a ceremony, I think it was only a couple of days ago.
Who was there?
Oh, loads of people there. So all of the people involved with him. So Winona Ryder was there. She gave a speech. Michael Keaton was there. He gave a speech.
Even though this old weird man preyed on me from a young age, I
Yeah,
still love him.
yeah. But she said, oh, when I first met Tim, I was just a weird kid, and he got me movies and all that. So Danny Elfman was there as
Of
well.
course.
Yeah, yeah. So
What's
it
Danny
looked,
Elfman without Tim Burton?
yeah,
Just
and the
Oingo
really cool thing
Boingo.
is his star is literally on the same little bit as Paul Rubens. Obviously, they're
Nuh-uh.
massive friends as well. So yeah, it's really cool. I watched it. I watched obviously YouTubers filmed it and stuff, so it's on YouTube. It looks really cool. Michael Keaton gave a really cool speech. Yeah, it's cool. I'm surprised it's taken this long. To be fair, for him to get one.
Speaking of Paul Rubens, did you buy the Pee Wee's Playhouse release from Scream Factory yet?
No, it's not region. It's not region free.
Ah,
Even though I've got a region free player, I just don't use it because
yeah, that's
you
an
know
extra hassle.
region B is better picture quality, isn't it? So
Don't fucking start with your coding bullshit. You just baited me there.
yeah.
And he's on, he says. Okay, so let's go to the recommendation of the week. I'll start things off. I am going to recommend From Here to Eternity from 1953 featuring Frank Sinatra. I haven't mentioned this ever.
We talked a little bit about Frank Sinatra, didn't we? So I mentioned Cannibal Run.
Yes.
Oh no,
Yes.
was it No, we were talking Frank Sinatra. Yeah, we were. Yeah, yeah.
Because I got the book about all of his movies, and it led
That's
me
right.
to
Yeah,
this.
you haven't
So I
mentioned this
watched this
movie
movie.
though.
It's
Mm-hmm.
damn good. Very, very awesome World War II movie. It shows you the days leading up to Pearl Harbor and some of the stuff going on there. So you kind of
Mm-hmm.
know how it's going to end. It's pretty heavy shit, but really, really well done for the time. Frank Sinatra can act his ass off here.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. Oh, speaking of that, back to the Reagan movie. Scott Stapp of Creed played Frank Sinatra in the movie. Fucking wild, dude. He showed up and was singing, and I was like, oh! Fucking A. But yeah, From Here to Eternity, there is a good Blu-ray release out there. I hope there's a 4K. Actually, we did talk about this because that was it. The only way to buy this is part of one of those Columbia Pictures fucking 4K silly things.
Right.
Yes, this is where we brought that up before. Okay. So yes, that's how you get the 4K of it. Paul, what's your recommendation?
My recommendation of the week is going to be Hellraiser. Obviously, the 1987 Clive
Not the
Barker.
new one.
Oh no. I'm talking about the original Clive Barker. It's got an amazing 4K transfer from Arrow. They've released it a few times, haven't they already? But
yeah,
I picked up the box set of all four films. The cheaper one, is it the Core? I'm getting it mixed up now. The Quartet of Torment, is that the right one?
yes,
Yeah. There's also the fancy one, which is just or about to come out in America, isn't it? The fold out one with all the chatter artwork and stuff. But obviously, it's going to the same transfer. Yes, such a good movie. It's one of the first films I remember that gave me nightmares as a kid, and it just looks incredible in 4K. They've done an amazing job, stacked with extras as always, and there's obviously it's got Hellraiser 2. It's got the best one of the whole series, Hellraiser 3, and it's even got Hellraiser 4 on there as well, which we never used to see in collections for a long time, but now it's kind of out there.
yeah,
And then you don't need to see any other Hellraiser films past 4, so it's fine.
yeah. Who gives a fuck about anything past 4?
But yeah, the transfer is amazing. Arrow always do a great job, so yeah, I highly recommend it. Track it down. Yeah, such a great film. Looks amazing in 4K. Obviously filmed in the UK, so I got
Here we go.
It was weird because I watched it with my girlfriend. She'd never seen it.
Yeah.
She like when she saw what we were watching, she just kind of rolled her eyes like, "Oh God, another horror film."
Yeah.
But she secretly enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, how can you not like Hellraiser? I think girls like Hellraiser because it's a sexually provocative horror film, and the fact that it's a woman who kind of is luring the men to her death.
Luring the men there.
I feel like that's appealing to women, and I think maybe Clive being a gay guy helped with that perspective there. I don't know.
she's very observant watching these films. She couldn't get how it is an mostly American cast, but a UK setting.
Yeah.
She was like, what's going on here? This is like, this house doesn't look like an American house. And she's
1
like,
and 2 is such a good double feature. And, that's something we're going to talk about in the future. This is our favorite double features. And I think Hellraiser 1 and 2 is so good together.
Yeah, Hellraiser 2, I don't know. Can
you
we do 1 and 3? Just for me, part 2, Pinhead isn't. He gets killed off, doesn't he? So the doctor guy is like the all-powerful one. I don't know. Pinhead is the powerful one. So I don't know. I'll watch it though, because it'll obviously be next one I watch from the box set. But for me, 2 was always a bit
he just get killed off. He gets put in the pillar, doesn't he?
Yeah, basically, it's like he gets outdone by this doctor.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, Pinhead
Okay, hot take. Wait for the Hellraiser episode.
That's what I remember watching it as a kid. I always thought that. I was like, ugh. But Free for me, which is probably sacrilege, but Free is the one that I love. There we go. And Clive Barker, he's doing his last ever rounds of convention appearances. Obviously, he's ill.
Yes, I got to see him during the Hellraiser 2 reunion show.
Oh, very lucky.
Yes.
Very lucky. I've met all the main Cenobites. I got a really cool picture taken of all the Cenobites.
I got to meet Barbie. So she was vagina neck girl.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I met Barbie, obviously Doug, and Nick, and the other guy whose name I forget.
Butterball,
yeah, all 4 of them. The 4 main from the Hellraiser. I got a nice photo of them all.
And Nightbreed.
Quite a few years. Sorry.
And Nightbreed. Whenever it's essentially the same cast for Nightbreed.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. So yeah, I love Hellraiser. I love the series. Maybe not 2, not so much, but yeah.
Maybe we should talk about Nightbreed's Cabal cut one of these days and just do a deep dive.
I'll be up for that.
Yeah,
for
that'd
sure.
be fun. Speaking of deep dives and in new episodes, next week we are doing a very, 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 very special episode. It's part of a collaboration that is ongoing between Project Louder and the Indie Escape Network. So a couple weeks ago, I was on this podcast called Generation Movie with my good friend JW and Rich, and those guys are awesome. So if you guys like podcasts, you into movies, go check out the Generation Movie podcast over on the Indie Escape Podcasting Network. They are top notch. It is just awesome. My friend Joe Ridgely runs that network. I'd highly recommend it. It's up there with Project Louder on quality wise. So if you like our stuff, you'll love their stuff. It's great. Well, speaking of JW from Generation Movie, he's coming on for our movie next week. And our movie next week is kind of like a Paul pick and my pick and our guest, JW. We're going to do Suspiria from 1977, one of my favorite movies of all time. Paul loves it too. It's Dario Argento's favorite, like my favorite film of Dario's. It's his best movie, one could say. I think the first 20 minutes of that movie is like the best cinema. Like if you wanted to say, like show somebody a movie to define cinema, the first 20 minutes is Suspiria. There you go. That says it all, baby. It's the perfect mix of sound and visuals and atmosphere, and it's awesome. Paul, Suspiria?
Oh yeah, absolute classic. One thing I always remember, we'll talk about it in the episode.
Yes, we'll talk about it in the episode. Yes. To hear us talk about Suspiria, tune in next week and join us for that episode. JW will be there. I'm excited to talk about it. Until then, tally-ho! Say your awkward bye, Paul.